work on Kanchin, Kata, also a little bit of just training for myself. And for anybody who tunes in, wants to train along, um, I'm not sure that I'm going to do a lot more of these types of like live. I mean, anytime I train and decide to post it, or I'm trying to teach something and I post it, I'll do it live so I don't have to save space on my phone. That allows me to just directly put it. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to do it at a set time. So I've tried to do it kind of at a set time to give people the opportunity to join in, to train live with me. And that's not really happening. So I'm probably not going to do a lot more like that. Probably what I'll do is just whenever I get a little bit of time during the day, I might try to make a little video and post it, but I don't think I'm going to keep, trying to do stuff live and get up early, hoping that people can be available to train. And there's nobody here except just strangers on YouTube. So a little bit of Celsius to wake me up in the morning. Tropical vibe. Wishing I was somewhere tropical, maybe Okinawa or Hawaii, something like that. All right, well, without further ado, we get into some Kanchin Kata. All right, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this because my mat's all the way back here. I think I'm going to bring you guys with me until the edge of the mat is kind of where you can see. Hopefully I don't step off the mat and twist my ankle. All right. So we'll just do the kata shokyu one time first. Onegaishimasu. Kanchin no kata shokyu. Step forward with the right foot. Both wrists come up and then sink down. Out and then in. So as you come up, maybe you kind of let your weight float a little bit. I would not try to extend the knees much. You don't really want to straighten your knees and come way up, because the idea is you're probably not starting in a really low position, but think kind of rising, and then you really want to sink your weight, which means bend your knees. So when you do that, hi, hello, comrade. All right. So when you do that, when you sink your weight, you are going to bend your knees. And if your weight was more on the fronts of your feet before, as you sink your weight, if you bend your knees deeper, you're going to end up, your heels are going to kind of push into the ground a little bit. You're not rocking your weight back, but you are sinking your weight down, which is going to make you more rooted and push the heels down into the ground. Wow. That's like a shuto type movement. And then you come out this way with the shukoken, and then in with the palms, like that. So from there, step right, up, sink down, out, and in, like that. And then you're going to take a little step with the right foot just to turn around it. Bring the left foot back. You're going to block toward your rear foot. And you're going to kick with the front foot, just a front kick. You're going to do the exact same kind of step and block. Little step with the right foot. Bring the left foot behind it and do your Sanchin stance. But this time, you're going to kick with that rear foot, the left foot. Kick and back, like that. And then your right foot, your right knee, you're going to pick it up. And you're going to do a block. But at the end of your block, the right hand's going to be low, and the left hand's going to push forward until they're like this. Then from there, you're going to step through Kosuuke, step through Tatehiji from Zen Kusudachi, Then Gedan Tsukiyuke. You're gonna kind of scoop the leg, lift it up, and Tsukiyage, Shoken, and hold. Then Shuganuke, Kama. From this Kama position, we're gonna go Shukoken this way, and this way, like the carp's tail. And then from here, you're gonna pull in, Yote Tsukiyuke, and then what I like to do, this is kind of the old way, but just going into a Gedan, stuffing with both hands like that, Gedan Dyote Sho. Could also just do a Gedan Tsukiyuke here. Boom. Gedan Barai, another Gedan Tsukiyuke, Tsukiyage, lift up to here. Boom. And then you're gonna do Shokenzukis going this way. So you're gonna move in. So instead of just, you're not gonna just turn here, you're gonna kind of go in with this one. Slide in, Shoken. So both hands are in Shoken fist the whole time. Shoken. Slide in, Shoken, Gedan Tsukiyuke, Tsukiyage, and hold here. Then, same thing, you're gonna step in with the left foot, Kosuke, step in, Yokuhiji, Rauchi, Shokenzuki. The right foot adjusts from this longer stance to Sanchin Uke, Sanchin Nukite, back, Kosuke, Kosuke, slide Kosuke, Shokenzuki, and Hikiashi. Arigatou gozaimasu. Oh wow, okay, yeah. Lots of likes. That's awesome. All right. Let me think about some talking points on this one. All right, so let's use Bob here because we have a Bob. We have a Bob. All right, so Bob has legs, kind of, and Bob has arms. And he probably needs his belt retied because things are a little bit on the loose side here. Okay. All right, so this movement, boom, I'm here and he comes, and I probably wouldn't even use this for like, he's grabbing my throat, because I feel like there's so many things you could do grabbing the throat. You could just do a regular parry to make sure he doesn't grab your throat. And if he actually gets a hold, hitting like this might not be very effective, trying to hit his arms. There are some nerves and stuff on the underside of your arm, so some people might think that you're going to hit those. But I think if he's got a really good grip on your neck, you're in a lot of trouble. What it could be really good for, I think, is if he's reaching to grab your hair or grab to pull you into a clinch. So if I'm coming from like a low position because I thought maybe I was talking to him and I'm keeping my hands in this de-escalating position, or I was holding my hands out here to keep him at a distance, and also keeping them in a position where if he suddenly shoots for my legs, I can kind of, I can drop my hips, but I can also push his head down here. So I'm keeping my hands in kind of a neutral position, and then all of a sudden he just goes to like grab my head. Boom. Coming straight up like this. Boom. So it's just a quick, it's almost like a startle response. It's like, oh crap, oh, boom. And then straight from there, that allows you to be kind of set for going into the shuto. So he comes to just grab my head here. I could also do it from a relaxed, like completely neutral posture. Like I'm just standing here with my hands here. All of a sudden someone comes to try to grab my head. Boom. I go here. And I go here. Now, once I get to here, this is a position I could really have a lot of ability to dominate on the inside. So I can, see on that side, I can hook behind his head. Throw my headbutt. Throw short elbow strikes. control the shoulder and arm, control both hands behind the head here. You know, so once I'm here, this is a really good position. But what's he gonna do? All right, so I knocked his arms up and I hit here, but now maybe he's not done. He's still gonna try to grab my face. I don't wanna just let him, you know, do one of, let's say he's me and he went for the double shuto and now my hands are outside. When you're this close to somebody, a lot of things can happen. So he could stick his thumbs in my eyes. He can still grab a hold of my hair. But having these arms on the inside gives me the chance to kind of prevent that by bringing my arms out, which, you know, if I'm trying to do something to him, when those arms come out, it's going to make it harder for me. All right. So he comes in with the initial grab. I'm here. I go here, boom, and there, really fast. All right, then he tries to come grab my face. I'm not gonna allow that. I'm gonna come out this way. And I could go boom, to the ribs, here, oh. Or I can go to the temples. I can go to the ears. I can go one high, one low. I could go to the neck, and from the neck, boom, boom, pull into the headbutt, knee to the groin, elbow strike, hook, punch, all right? So lots of things can happen from there. Okay, the next interesting thing here is we've got this footwork that is kind of new. It's introduced in this kata. And that's this footwork where we step around like this. Why would we step around like that? So I think there's a couple reasons we might step around like that. If it's just a straight punch, then the reason would be to create some momentum. So if he punches and I just step back, boom, this is what happens, right? I'm here, I'm still kind of in front of him. If he punches and I step around with my block, I can steal his arm. All right, so in reality, people's arms don't just come off. So what's happening there? Well, if I'm the puncher and somebody does that to me, I come in with my punch and they step around and grab and pull like that, I'm going like this, all right? So maybe in a fight scenario, what happens is the first time I do that, I'm gonna see how he responds to it. And then I'm pulling him off balance, he's right there, and then I got this quick front foot kick that I can do, all right? So I pull him off balance, I'm here, maybe I'm stomping to his knee with that kick because he's going like this, right? And so his knee's sitting out here. Maybe I stomp his knee. Maybe I pulled and stretched him out so his ribs are sitting there open and I kick him in the ribs. Lots of different applications. I pull him here and stomp to the knee. Stomp to the knee this way. I can kick to the ribs. Lots of different options. It could be I sweep him, so I can pull him this way. He tries to stand back up, and then, I don't know if you can see here, I sweep his foot. So I go here, and he's here, and then he tries to stand up. When he tries to stand up, I'm going to come in with a foot sweep and shuto across the throat at the same time. While I bring this arm up and around, I could figure four, step through, take him down that way. I'll try to show you that because that's a little bit complex. All right. So I'm stepping around to really pull him off balance, pull that arm out. Remember, I'm thinking about pulling the arm off. When I set him down here, he tries to stand up. When he stands up, I'm going to sweep his foot that's close here So instead of doing a kick, I'm kind of kicking. I can sweep his foot. I could do like a kicking sweep like this and bring it across the throat like this. And then as that takes away his balance, I push this arm up to further compromise his balance. And then I figure four my arms here. I step behind his leg. I trip him. Boom. And that should end up with me kind of almost in like a side mount position with some good control of that arm. All right, so then the other technique that follows, we do the same back step, but now we're throwing the kick off the rear foot. All right, so remember, when we do that, sorry, that was dumb. I'm keeping the arm, all right? I take the arm away. Bear with me, it's early in the morning, and maybe I suck because nobody really gives a shit about this anyway. But when I go here, I'm pulling him off balance. What's gonna happen? He's pulled off balance, head pitches forward. I can either mid-level round kick with the shin, or if his head's like floating down here and I blocked it, I pulled here, I can sweep this arm outside and kick right up to the face. So you're pulling the arm, setting their weight off balance, either kicking them here or clearing the arm, boom, kicking them in the face. All right. So a lot of times these katas are the strategy. They're the strategy of a certain person, right? So there's somebody at some point was trying to set up their opponent, and they're moving, they're sparring. Somebody punches them, and they're trying to pull them here, throw that front foot kick. Pull them here, throw that sweep. Pull them here, stomp the knee. And then once that's what the person's expecting, is that one of those things is going to happen. Now you pull them here, boom, and you boom, throw the kick, or pull them here, boom, clear that arm, bang, kick to the head. All right, so that's why it's kick with the front foot, then kick with the rear foot, is you're setting them up. This is one way to do it, is you pull them off balance, exploit it with the front foot, whether that's a front foot kick to the ribs, a front foot stomp to the knee, a front foot sweep this way, and then, you know, you can try to set them off balance, boom, set them up for that kick off the rear foot. All right, so that's kind of how I envision that. Now, the other way you could think of that is you could do it all to the inside. You could do it all to the inside, and I need to tighten up Bob's belt here. All right, so outside is kind of simple to think about, and I do think a lot of times the roots of the style are in Uechi-ryu, at least as far as Okinawa goes. It was Pongai Noon in China, and then Uechi-ryu in Okinawa, and I think Uechi-ryu they're really looking for opportunities to get to the outside. They would like to flank their opponent and be here outside of that danger area. But if you're inside, you do have more vital points. So you are going to take advantage of that if you're on the inside, but they really like to hook and grab a hold of the outside arm. And we kind of do too. It's hard to actually make it happen. In a chaotic fight, you can get to the outside, but it's usually not like that. You usually get to the outside by maybe you're here and you kind of bump their arm up, and you come in here. That's one way you might get to the outside. Usually you can hand trap here and kind of work to the outside for a moment, but they're going to square right back up with you. It's really hard to grab the wrist and get wrist control. If they're wearing sleeves, that changes a little bit because it is easier to grab someone's sleeves than it is to grab their wrists. All right, so if you're doing this technique to the inside, it could be he throws this first punch, and I'm, again, see how much I'm pulling that? I'm stealing his arm. He's set off balance here. His second punch is not going to be very strong, so I'm still going to address that if a second punch comes, but I'm going to throw that kick, the front foot kick. Or maybe I go here, boom, pull him off balance. I guess if I was to the inside, I might look for the opportunity to throw that knee. So, I'm kind of stepping, I'm kind of back stepping with that first one, pulling him here, boom, making sure I don't get hit here, coming up, getting a hold. He's actually going to be here anyway. From that first pull, this is probably where he's going to end up. So then I just grab a hold and try to meet him part way, right? Pull him down, bring the knee up, meet in the middle with it. You could also do that, the first technique, that front knee, pull him off balance here, boom, he's here. I could potentially throw that front knee, boom, the groin, or up to the face. Options. All right. I don't know. So then when you turn to the back, you do this thing, right? I like that. That's like a joint lock. That's like that's control the elbow. So maybe I pick up my knee to check a kick, right? He tries to kick me. Boom. I pick up my knee to block it. And then as he steps in to grab me or to punch me, I'm going to address this hand across. And I'm going to circle here. And then I'm going to push behind his elbow or just above his elbow. So that should be maybe they kick, they're reaching in, you grab a hold of their arm, and you push behind their elbow to kind of turn them like this. So I'm going to block. I go here, press in. So the next movement from there is you step through and block, step in Tatehiji. That doesn't make sense really in the sequence, to be honest with you. So if I go here, I'm not going to go back to the inside. I'm going to exploit this opportunity. So what I like for this is maybe on this one, instead of stepping through, I might step in to like a Tatehiji, but it's going to be like a modified Tatehiji. So I go block here, hold here, boom, come up, boom, with that rising elbow strike to the face. So I'll come here, intercept, boom, bam, come up like that. That can even be a takedown because I go here, I'm pushing his weight this way, right? He's then trying to resist that by kind of coming up to this position. As he comes up to that position, I can step through, boom, step through here. God, you can't see me. Step through here, got elbow, trap his leg so he can't backstep, and then boom, bring that all the way through. So that would be if I just use that Tatehiji strike. You know what else I like about that? So if that's what I do, if I block here, and I'm probably gonna step outside as I do this. So I check, I'm right in front of them, I intercept right in front of them. When I come to here, I'm gonna do like a circular step this way. Boom, Then as they try to stand up from there, I'm going in behind, coming up and down. Now, what are they gonna try to do when I take them down? What do I teach you guys to do? Is get your legs between you and the person who's standing over you, trying to beat you up. So what's the next move here? We just did Tata Hiji. Next move is Geidan Tsukyuke. So if I just did this, and now I'm ready to beat them up more, and they start putting their legs between me and them, I can catch one of those legs. And then I can decide, do I pull them this way, or do I pull them this way? Get in, and the beat down continues from there. Okay, so that's just my off the wall thinking for that movement. You can separate them. This could just be, if you go here, once you're here, boom, you can stomp to the knee. You can go here and then do a couple shote strikes. All right, and that can be one set. And then the next thing is, instead of you would step through like that, the next thing might be, you're kind of actually stepping around, blocking here, or stepping back, boom, 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 going in with that Tata Hiji. Once you hit them with the Tata Hiji, it knocks them back. All right, so if I have, let's say I do kind of a very basic interpretation of that, block, I go in with my Tata Hiji, it makes him rock back. What happens when he rocks back? You see how these legs are coming up? So if he rocks back, his leg comes up, and he kind of tries to maybe kick me, or he really loses his balance and his leg is just there. As he goes back, I'm gonna just snag that leg. And again, like always, remove the leg. So knock him back here, boom. His legs come up, boom. Grab the leg, catch the leg. And now I just lift the leg, fling him backwards. This one, we've done that movement before. I like to think of that as, a lot of times we're just addressing like punches to the face is kind of standard. Sometimes people punch you here. Sometimes people might try to grab, like they're trying to grab your shirt or something, or they're trying to throw a punch to your stomach or to your ribs. Block like this. So I got my hands up. I don't really want to put them both down at the same time. I deflect here, boom, they switch. So I've got one hand goes low, one hand is high, one hand is low, one hand is high. This one's still able, if he comes across with this punch, this one's still here ready to block. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so I go here, boom, this one's still ready to block or counter. And then this one's ready to block or counter. All right. Also, stabbing. All right. A lot of times, people who are stabbing, they might try to come up here to throw neck, but you're gonna recognize that they're trying to do that. Bring your hands up, and where do they go? They're trying to come in here and stab you in the midsection. So if they're stabbing, getting both hands here, boom, and then instead of worrying about anything else, or now, boom, now I'm married to that hand that had the knife in it. Boom. You see a theme here? I'm just removing the arms, removing the legs. No, but that's what happens, because in reality, anytime I'm pulling one of these arms out or pulling one of these legs out, it means I'm really securing the grip on the arm or the leg, and I'm pulling to disrupt the balance. That's how much I'm pulling to disrupt the balance. Is I'm thinking I'll pull their arm off or pull their leg off. Okay. So we got this move. It could also be to the inside. I go here, boom. This one's still here to cover in case he throws that. Boom. This one's here in case he throws that. I can go to the side of the neck, kind of the front side of the neck here to the carotid. Go to the sock coats, and from here I can also strike to the ribs at the same time with this one. All right, so I get inside, boom, boom. Lots of things I can do here, but I gotta get kind of inside control. That's what I'm going for. If I'm inside, I want inside control. That means we're not here, I'm here. We're not here, I'm here. If I'm inside, I want inside control. Inside bicep control, neck and bicep control. I want inside control. I do not want his arms inside of my arms when we're at this proximity and when I'm directly in front of him. If I get to the outside, there's lots of things I can do here, and it puts him in a harder position. I don't know. I could say a lot more, but I feel like I'm kind of info dumping here. These movements, all right, what is that for? It could be exactly what I'm just talking about, fighting for positioning, right? Our arms are here. Think about the sticky hands type stuff that they do in like Wing Chun and Taiji Chuan. There's all this push hands, right? So we're kind of feeling the sensitivity, feeling where the hands are, kind of feeling control, feeling each other's balance and weight. Right, so you're kind of staying connected the whole time. All right, so in the midst of all that, if I want to change things, I can go here, right? So I can push everything this way, and that may create an opportunity to hand trap here and throw my strike. So I push everything this way, okay? Push everything this way. So I can push everything this way up, down. And when I go down, come back with my strike. It might be a Shukoken like this, because that's what I'm doing with my hands. So I'm coming, boom, boom, boom. It's one way of thinking about that, okay? It could be like a double wrist grab, right? So I'm here, I'm holding my hands here, trying to keep my frame, and they just try to grab my wrist like that, and I can just go, and this one breaks the grip this way. This one kind of has to come over and break the grip this way, all right? But they, double wrist grab break, and then this can be hit. I can hit high and middle like that, boom, or I could hit bomb, bomb. I could use it as like a double hit, right? So Bob grabs my wrist, I break the grip, boom, and I can go lead with my Shukoken, boom, boom, and follow with my Shoten. So you grab my wrist, I break the grips this way, boom, boom, just like that. All right, Shukoken, boom. All right, so I get outside of Bob here. So he's trying to reach to grab me, or I like this one against a push, right? He's trying to shove me, and I set him here. I kind of get out of the way, because he's already pushing forward. I just pull him a little bit in that same direction so that he overcommits, because if he's trying to push me and I just move and I don't keep him moving, he just moves to adjust to where I am. And so if he overcommits, the mistake is all his. But I want to make him overcommit. So as he comes in with that shove, I'm going to help make sure he kind of overcommits by setting him and pulling him in the same direction. He doesn't like that. He's off balance. Maybe he still throws a wild hook. I'm going to block that. I'm going to come right in with my punch here. Now we're really close. Remember how when I knock him backwards, his legs come up? So as his legs come up here, I can either scoop it here, or maybe I, stuff his knee, because maybe he was trying to hit me with his knee. I stuff that. I move to the outside this way. Let me show you. Okay. So what happened here, I set him here. I blocked and hit at the same time. Knocked him a little bit backwards, and he's trying to kick me. And so I go from here to stuffing this knee, and then I'm moving around him by pushing this way. And as I do that, now I'm going to come up, bring my arm through here. I'm basically going to tackle him, but I'm going to step through, take away his ability to recover his balance, and down he goes, all right? Boom, 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 boom. So you guys already know there's multiple ways to do this. I set him here, boom, go here. This can just be a gate on Tsukyuke. And I scoop here, and I just lift up until he falls. Or I kind of throw him, is really what happens. Whoosh. Or once I go here, we get into this tight spot. Maybe he gets this inside control, and he's got a clinch, and he's kind of trying to break down my posture. What are you doing? Someone's trying to do that. What's he trying to do? He's probably trying to hit me with his knees. If I stuff his hips with both of my palms like this, it makes it really, and I keep my posture high, he's not really going to be able to hit me with his knees. Okay, and then from here, maybe he tries to hit me with the knees a little bit, but I eventually am going to clear that and come sort of to the outside. Maybe I punch here. Maybe from here he dives at my legs, and I stuff his head down here. And then I cross face, and then I use this one to keep his head from getting close to me while I punch him with this hand. So that's another way of thinking about that. I can show that on this dude here. I got Dan. Bob gets a lot of love, but Dan is not always. We'll go kind of from a kneeling position with Dan. All right. Dan has tried to dive for my legs. Picture us both standing up. He dives for the legs. I stuff his head here. Then I take this forearm, I kind of cross face him here. He's determined, so he's still coming trying to grab this leg. I stuff his head so his head can't get close to me. I take my Kosakin fist, and I punch him at the same time. He's trying to do that. Now from there, if he's still determined, I might be able to pull his head down and get my ridge hand under his chin, across his throat for a little guillotine type choke, all right? So after I stuff his head, boom, and I hit him here, he's still kind of diving for it. If I can pull his head down, put my body on top of his head, and then I take my ridge hand and I pull up with the blade of my hand across his windpipe. That's a very uncomfortable situation for him. All right. What else to show you guys? So that was that sequence. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, yeah. So then it's these ones. All right. I don't think I need to really show you guys like a whole dedicated sequence. I will show you. So why would you keep this hand in Shoken and do these Shoken punches? All right, I'll show you what I think. We're gonna go back to Dan. We might even get the floor view this time. All right. So let's say this is like the give me your lunch money grab. Okay, so I get both of his lapels. I get his lapels and I kind of twist them like this. I wouldn't even need both. I just get one lapel and I pull it in like this, and I kind of use that to control his balance. Maybe I pull it from back here so I have more control of his balance here. All right, I can pull into it, but a lot of times that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about grabbing his fabric and getting a hold here. And if I can grab his fabric and maybe press that into the neck a little bit with that shoken, it makes it a little bit nastier, right? Anytime you're just got somebody where they can't move much and you're digging the shoken in just to cause pain and suffering, that's what we want. All right. Oh gosh, what am I gonna teach you guys? All right. Gate on Tsukyuke. I'm just gonna call this a kick, right? So they kick you, they're trying to kick your groin, you just drop the target back away, so they miss. And since they have to, their foot has to kind of travel up to kick you, because where our feet located, normally they're located on the ground. So for somebody to kick, their foot has to go from down to up. If they miss their kick, their foot is gonna go up higher if they had any follow through with their kick. So when they kick, I'm gonna step back, their foot is going to miss, and it's going to continue in motion up to an area where I can trap it here. And then from there, I can kind of clamp down on that foot. I could maybe drive the shoken into the bottom of the foot or the top of the foot, doesn't matter. A lot of times for regular bunkai with partners, we'll just kind of hold here to make sure it doesn't pop up and kick us in the face, because some people are flexy. If you got a flexy person, you catch their leg and you get complacent with this hand, their foot might pop up and they'll smack you in the face. And you don't want that. Usually they don't have much power with that kind of kick, but you can't really count on that, and it'd be kind of embarrassing to get kicked in the face when you're holding their leg. All right, so they kick, I step back, it's coming up, it comes up into my zone. This one's here to kind of stop the kick. This one I can actually punch into the kick if I needed to, into the inside of the calf, where the calf meets the front of the shin there, boom. Or I can just kind of scoop under, which I kind of prefer because it's safer to trap. This is if I just want to hurt their leg, but I'm probably going to miss my grab then. Whereas here I can kind of trap it here and then whoosh, lift everything up. And again, Bob's leg has detached, as you can see. So this is my approach is just remove their arms and legs until I have a joke for you guys. What do you call a guy with no arms and no legs who's drowning in the water? Bob. All right. It seems fitting because I'm removing Bob's arms and legs. So if he was in the water, he has no arms and no legs, then he's Bob. But he's Bob already. So, hey. Anyhow. Oh gosh, I need more sleep. All right. Squeeze out again. All right, so we go this one. And you guys have done this so many times, but I really think it changes the dynamic that we're doing that back step. So since we're stepping here, and kind of, I feel like that really, again, it feeds into that concept. Remember how we stepped around at the beginning? At the beginning of this kata, we stepped around. We did two of those. And then when we went to do those shokens, we kind of moved in here, which is a little bit of a different kind of step. And if I was going to try to do that in a bunkai, my adaptation for doing that with a partner would be to step around. And then here, again, I'm stepping in and in. So how would I do that? I would step around, all right? So, boom, boom, all right? So here, I think it's the same thing. Step to the outside, remove their arm, and as I remove his arm, check this out. So, maybe my students, they see this too much, but I like to throw the elbow to the elbow. I like to do yokuhiji to the elbow joint. The standard way would probably be really to come here and then either go to the ribs or go to the neck or head. That's kind of the more standard way. But a lot of times, if you get a hold of somebody's arm, they might have this one kind of protecting. They might have pretty good defense. But I get here and I'm already moving around. Oh man, I'm missing everything. And I hit his elbow just like that. That's what happens when I'm thinking about like where I'm staying on the camera and how I'm explaining things and talking and doing it at the same time. Too many minds, right? That's what they say in the last samurai. Too many minds. Mind to people watching, mind to opponent. Too many minds. Right. So I'm stepping around. I'm throwing that yokuhiji to the elbow joint. Boom. That's gonna kind of pull him off balance, set him a little bit. Then I fire this one, and I could just do the shoken, or I can let go. Come back with the shoken, maybe behind the ear, maybe up under the neck, under the jaw. I'm also trying not to twist my ankle on this thing. So I'm here. Then come to here, Nukite, Kosuke, Kosuke, boom, boom. So the original, I think, was more kind of like fancy type of hand stuff. With that, I don't know. I'm gonna have to like rewatch, but it's gonna be like what I mean is rewatch the Weichi, the old like Weichi version. But I think essentially what it is you're kind of back to that hand fighting thing. And I think this is something that when it became karate and it got away from like the Southern Chinese origins, people forgot about this sticky hands type stuff and how much that influenced what we're doing. A lot of the Southern styles they do Wing Chun is the one that you picture that wooden dummy, right? With the arms, the wooden arms and the wooden middle arm that you can kind of do all this stuff. Well, we have moves like this. We have moves where we're going here, winding around stuff. Well, what do you think influenced the development of that? Probably wooden dummy training. So, the mantis, Southern mantis style, is the Chowgar. I think Chowgar is Southern mantis style. They use the wooden dummy and they do all this hand fighting. And guess what? They stand like us and they use Shoken fist, the Phoenix Eye fist. They use just like us. Wing Chun uses the wooden dummy. Their hand position is a lot like us and their stance is a lot like us. So if you think that we were not in any way influenced by this hand trapping, you're probably mistaken. Right, so you got to be able to kind of control the arms here. And that helps you create the openings. Look for openings and create openings. Feel openings. Feel when they're open, to hit. So we did a couple blocks here. You could just back up block. Maybe you didn't have time to counter and block again. For an advanced kata, it doesn't really make a lot of sense that you'd be like, oh, I blocked and I didn't hit them, so I guess I better just block again. Probably you're going to try to hit them right away. So what makes more sense would be if you're going here, and when you go here, they're trying to hit you here, and then you come across here. All right, right? So you're kind of coming here, here, boom. You could think, so the Sanchin is just Sanchin, right? You go boom, right to the throat, you go to the eye. But on this block, then you're going here. If I go here, and then he punches here, I can use that punch. So I've got him crossed up. So this hand's low, he punches high, I bring it high. And from there, I can cross his arms over so I can throw my Shoken punch. That seems to fit the block the best, or fit the sequence the best. So I block over here, he's coming back with this. I come back over here, trap down, Shoken to the throat. Instead of the Shoken, what I could do is I block here, he comes back here, I block here, I push this towards him, and like this would be the Shoken then. I cross him up, boom, I use that to trip him and take him off balance, like so. All right, so that's the meaning of the kata. I'll do it one more time. I'm gonna find the edge of the mat. Okay, so now that you've seen kind of how to break down these movements, Onegaishimasu, Kanchin no Kata. Step right, up, sink, out and in. Little step with the right foot, back step left, kick with the right foot. Little step right foot, back step left, kick with the left foot, bring it back. And then I do my lock here and come to neko ashigachi. This is facing backwards, right hand's low, left hand's high, right foot's in front. Then I step through left foot, lock, step through right into Zen Kusudachi, right hand Gedan Tsukyuke, Tsukuyage, and back to here. Then I do my Chudan block, Kamae, Ichi, Ni, San. So my left foot's in front here. Now I adjust my angle. So basically my right foot's in front in Sanchin stance. So all I did, left foot was in front. When I pull here, now my right foot's in front. Yonju go to angle, Ryoke Tsukiyuke, Gedan Tsukiyuke, Gedan Barai, Gedan Tsukiyuke, Tsukuyage. And I move in left foot's in front, Shoken block, Shoken punch. Slide in, Shoken, slide in, Shoken. Shokyu level, keeping that left foot in front the whole time. Then you step through with the right foot, Gedan Tsukiyuke, Tsukuyage. Move in with the left foot, Kosuke, right foot in front, Yokuhiji, Rauchi, Shokenzuki. And then I'm gonna adjust the right foot back to here, Sanchin Dachi, left foot in front, right hand Nukite, and back. Then I go, I block towards the rear foot, so towards my right, and I block towards my left, which is the front foot. And then I slide in, and I block toward the left again, and throw my Shoken punch with the right hand. Slide back. So, and make sure I'm guiding you correctly. Yeah, so I do after the Sanchin Yuki, it's blocked toward the rear foot, blocked toward the front foot, slide in, block toward the front foot again, and throw that Shoken punch. Hikiashi. Arigatou gozaimasu. All right, hopefully that is helpful in understanding how some of these techniques are used. You know, sometimes it can be kind of hard to explain. There's a lot of material to cover. I don't know if it's possible to teach much of this in this way, but I'm going to jump off quick, and then I'm going to return so I can get this portion of it saved here.